Well, if you haven't heard, breakfast is still the most important meal of the day. And Dr. Alana Franson is here. She is the VP of Health and Wellness for Dairy Max. And she's talking about a recent study about research that you actually did when it comes to breakfast and cereals and all sorts of things, right?
Yes, yes. So one of the main reasons we embarked on the research is because 1 in 3 American children is either overweight or obese, puts them at risk for chronic disease like type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and childhood obesity is more common in minority children and children living in low-income households.
Okay.
So we looked at 600 children over a 3-year period, and we did a very detailed protocol to look at what they were eating over this 3-year period. And what we found was those children that chose a ready-to-eat cereal and milk breakfast had higher nutrient intakes of 3 of the nutrients of public health concern, specifically calcium, potassium, and vitamin D. So when you take that nutrient-rich option of cereal, because cereal is typically fortified with micronutrients.
And that's an easy thing for kids to eat and parents to do for their kids in the morning.
Exactly, because the simplicity is part of it too.
Okay.
And then you pair that with milk, which happens to be the #1 source of calcium, vitamin D, and potassium. You really have a nutrient-dense breakfast, which means it's going to deliver the most nutrients for a minimal amount of calories, which leads to another finding, which was that frequently consuming ready-to-eat cereal with milk for breakfast in lieu of other higher calorie, higher fat breakfast or no breakfast was associated with a lower body mass index, which is an indicator of body fatness. So it's those health benefits that you can reap when you make that decision, that breakfast decision in the morning, and just be aware that not all breakfasts are created equal.
And a lot of times not every cereal is created equal either. We see them on TV, we see the kids see all, you know, oh, look at that one, I get the free prize and all that. But there are cereals out there they can enjoy that still have some sugar in them, right?
Right. And that's kind of the trick, is you can make the most nutritious food out there, but if kids don't eat it, it goes nowhere.
Okay.
So you want to meet in the middle, and these were some of the top choices that we found in the study. And the key is when you're in the cereal aisle, because I think it's really mesmerizing when you're going down the cereal aisle and there's so many choices, but what you can hone in on specifically when you're looking at the food label are 2 things. I recommend 2 things: the fiber and the sugar. So the challenge for you and your kids is find that cereal that has the most fiber and the least sugar. And that's going to be a great option. And you know, think of variety, because you don't have to be eating the same cereal all the time, but look for a variety of cereals that are going to give you that high fiber and low sugar.
And this is a fun way to get your kids involved at the grocery store too, because you tell them, you go find the cereal that's like this, and then they get to make the choice, and so they like it better too.
And you can use it as, you can use the nutrition label as a tool and say, okay, well, let's look at what you brought and which one's got the most fiber and the lowest sugar, and you know, that's a good way to teach them about making that positive breakfast choice too.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so let's talk about this, because this is National School Breakfast Week.
Yes, it is National School Breakfast Week, and school breakfast was designed to have an opportunity for all children to get a nutritious breakfast that's going to help them be alert and engaged and ready to achieve what they need to do during a school day. So this is what a typical school breakfast looks like these days, and I want to point out the cereal options that you see at school are multi-grain, and this version of Frosted Flakes is actually a reduced sugar version.
And multi-grain, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, so it's kind of getting that combination of high fiber and low sugar. There's always going to be fresh fruit offered, and then here we have 1% milk. So this is what we really want to achieve, whether you're having breakfast at home or at school. The objective is to have breakfast.
And this last breakfast here, we've got about 30 seconds so we can show this one too.
Very quickly. So this is a whole grain reduced fat biscuit with a reduced fat turkey sausage, fresh strawberries, and a fat-free chocolate milk.
Very nice. So you get chocolate milk too, so you don't always have to have the plain old milk. You can get chocolate as well.
The variety.
Lana Franson, Dr. Lana Franson, always has great information. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Monica.
And helping our kids have fun at the grocery store with their parents too. I'm sure the parents will be happy to hear that.
Thanks,
all right,
Monica.
we'll be back after a break right here on Fox News First. Stay with us.